So this is where it all started. This is the spawn point. This is where our world began. As you see, not a lot of stuff has been done around here, but this was the birthplace of the world. This is where we start episode 0, and down this way is where we build everything. Second, we are spawned in this little beach area. I'm going to do a time check real quick. It is October 21st, 2025. So, before we get into the house tour, I want to take a second to add a couple people to signs. I've been saying I was going to do this for almost 100 episodes, but we are in some mystery room right now. Don't worry about it. It's not important. And today we're going to add a couple of them. I got 6 names here over the course of the 100 episodes who have been the most impactful. First off, this real Ripto dude, he was one of the first to comment saying he liked the videos. And he has the most comments on the channel at all. So big shout out to him. Next we got Michael Numbers. Big on him because very in the beginning he gave some feedback which helped make these videos better. This guy, this little guy, I love his videos. They're super cool. He makes interesting stuff, and I like his dirt stuff he was building. The person under that just left that they enjoyed the videos, so I thought that was super nice. And then the 2 people here, Redact, he is actually from my sister account, and he watches, he's comments a few times, and we helped make thumbnails. Very important thing we need to discuss before we move on is this is not an ARG. I repeat, this is not an ARG. Okay, thank you guys for commenting though. I got like 8 of you different people to comment saying this is an ARG. It is not. It is not at the moment an ARG. I did not plan on this being an ARG. I'm just playing Minecraft, guys. I know it's creepy that I'm in the old versions, but people can play the old versions without it being creepy. This is not an ARG, okay? Okay, sorry. Had to get that one out of the way. I want to thank you guys for watching this. And if you guys are watching right now, comment down below. I'm going to pick some names to add to the actual area for this, because I'm going to build a spot for it. I've said I was going to do it for years, and I still haven't. But comment below, and I'll pick some of you to be added next into this. And I'll start doing that every episode, where I'll pick a comment or someone, or every couple episodes, I'll start adding people, so that we can start getting some more comments, more engagement, and stuff like that. So without that, let's get into the world tour. There's a lot of cool stuff to show you. For today's video, we are going to show off everything we have in the world. As we are approaching midday, we got a lot of cool things to show and stuff that we've done. So starting off, we are going to head over to the first thing we ever built in this world. It's going to be this little shack. This is actually the second iteration of this shack, because on the first night, on the first morning, we walked out of the shack right here, and it blew up in this area right here. There may honestly still be air block under there from when that happened, but this is where we spent our first many nights, and there's still a little bit of stuff in here, remembering our adventures from those so many years ago. I say that as if it wasn't 4 months ago. So next thing we're going to head down to is our little mine area. This is just where we got cobblestone, just a little tiny area. We only used it maybe a handful of times, but then after that, we switched to in here, which is where we're heading to next. There is a staircase down here, and this leads down to this mine area. This is a massive area that we would dig out in the nights waiting for the day. Here, on day 2, on episode 001, which was labeled then, on October 21st of last year, we did this. So this was labeled on the second day. Then that leads down here to this mine. And then this was originally going to lead over and connect to things. And now these just lead down to random mine parts. So nothing crazy to explore. I think there's a couple caves they lead off to, but nothing crazy in that regard. Next thing I want to go over to, this is going to skip a lot of episodes. We're not going to go in chronological order. I just want to explore everything. We're going to head over to the railroad station. If you have been around since the beginning and watch a handful of videos, I talked about building this thing for literally 50 episodes before it happened. I talked about wanting to make a bridge. The bridge still needs remade over to here. sit over here on the bench. You can just sit over and watch stuff that's around. Then over here we have a porched area which can look over the water and more stuff that will be built soon. And then that leads to back here, which goes to the rail. So we'll head to the inside and look at the interior of this one. This was the first build I actually made an interior for. Walk in here, you got a little computer to look at stuff, a little desk, and then over here is where you'll get your tickets and stuff. Then walking into here, got a little lever for this, and then this is the repair station. It looks creepier than it was meant to be. There's just wires and stuff. It's not blood, I promise. But in here is where minecarts get worked on if they aren't working, and then out here will be where the railroad starts, and here is where broken minecarts can connect up. This is supposed to head down here into more, but a creeper exploded here, and I have not fully fixed this area yet. And big stuff is coming with this soon, as I have a couple ideas on where it's going to go. Then if we head up here and look this way, this is where the edge of our torch line is, where all of our spawn proofing goes, and it ends about here. So it goes really long, so there's not a lot of mobs spawn directly on us when we're in the center of the land. Okay, now we're going to head off to the actual base. This will be a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. Really depends how much detail I go into and stuff in. This is your first time watching, thanks for joining us on this episode. We got many more to do, hopefully. But actually, not fine. I'll actually talk out here so we don't have to walk down this area path. Was supposed to lead over to the original farming area. This was a fenced-in area made for wheat, but the wheat kept popping off, so we ended up leaving that. And this was the plan for a pathway around this bowl, which is supposed to lead over into the sand area. I have not walked over here in a long time. So yeah, this is supposed to lead over to this little sand area, which is like inside another bowl with water and stuff. Interesting type of land. Now, after showing everything around the outside, we can go into the current base and stuff we are working on. As we're right here, I'm going to grab some water because I keep forgetting to have water in my bucket. Heading up the stairs, we walk up to the base. This was the first thing ever built, was these flowers. Was the first thing handpicked to walk up into this. So you walk up into the base, and you got a entrance room. We will start going down, because this is where it originally was. There is this big room here, and then it leads down to here. This is the original area. Down here was our storage system, and right now it's in the middle of a transition of being redecorated and stuff, but that leads to here with just this giant waterfall down area. This was the first big part of the base, as this led to the major spark in creativity when I made this area. I had this vision for a couple weeks, and then I just did it. You see this path, it'll lead over to a water source, and then Kenai back to this area we talked about earlier. So that's what that little hole there does. This was made underground before the base was done, and this was my way to get into the house if I died, which I had to do once because I got killed by a mob and I had to run through the base, and getting through there and then dying was a little bit easier than all the way running up into this little house at the time, because it is a little bit away from it, and it did save me a couple times. Next thing we're going to do is going to be over here. This is our original pick we used to mine nether, the stuff for the nether portal, and this is our smelting room. This is where I come back from a mine, which is what this is. This leads over here. This is our little mine room. This leads all the way down there. We will come back to it. A lot of this stuff overlaps and stuff, so things will have to be walked back on. And then this leads to these, which were made before I thought of doing this. Before I thought of making this a staircase, so I ended up just putting dirt there. So I keep reminding myself. Now this leads down into a lot of stuff. So in here is the goal room. This is the original room we had for all of this stuff. These are all the goals I had completed at the time. This was back in episode 16. We did this one. This was what we wanted to make a nice room, go find diamond, go fishing, explore land. Here was stuff that we didn't all get to do. This is something that has been sitting on the wayside for a while, and then this expanded mightily based on more stuff I wanted to do. This got killed, and this is in the process of, this is basically done. Across the hall is the newest part of the base. This is the inspiration room. This is going to be where we lay all kinds of blocks on the walls and stuff so it can help me build, because with a limited palette, it's hard to figure out what you want to do without there being a lot of stuff. So that's what's up here on here, and we're only missing a couple little things we'll have to go out and find. We recently just made this jukebox and added it. Under here is going to lead over into another area, but this is still currently under construction. So I will come back to this area once get more done with it in a future episode. And then over here, this is the big drop down area. This is just the extra parts of it from when I originally dug it out, because this was originally going to be a farming room. And after a little bit of time, I didn't like it because I couldn't make it taller than this. So recently I decided I was going to drop the room down, go this way, and make a better use of it. And I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. This wall is not done because I'm going to probably expand this room out more. That's all for this. And then we're going to move over into this room. This is going to be a greenhouse type of room. You go look through this glass. There's one of every plant in the game that I have at the moment. There's no pumpkins because I don't have any of those. This is one of all the plants that we have. And through here, we'll decorate a little bit more with some plant life as we find more. The next area is going to be here. This was a huge room we dug out. Episodes, probably like 50, 60 episodes ago. They don't have purposes yet, but they have been decorated and filled, so we can at least use them. We went for a more stone wall pattern, and I started even using logs because it helps break it up a little bit and adds a little bit of texture. I didn't plan on actually doing it between both. This was actually going to be a cobblestone back wall, but I kind of liked it continuing, so I did, and I'm happy with it. You get two different vibes for this room. They're completely mixed up. Next thing we got to do is going to be here. This was originally where our nether portal was. That was destroyed because it made too many noises and I didn't like how close it was. So that was moved, and so then we made this way. We got a dead end over here, and then we have this. Coming down to this leads to take a here, and then this is a mine. This is one of the mines that we came down and did stuff in, and ended up randomly connecting to here. So I ended up leaving this open just in case I ever need to go this way. And then following this down here leads right here to what we talked about earlier, this. And then even on the backside, we need to go up. We got ladders here that will lead up to the top, so we can get up and down, or you can even travel up this, but it's pretty slow. I would not recommend doing that. So now we are going to head back into the base, and I think that's going to be about it for this bottom layer. Let's make our way back up to the top, and go ahead from there. So, taking this back up, we are going to head back to the very top, to the beginning starter room where everything started, as in the name. So, now we are up here in the night. This room was originally all it was. This was going to be the house. This went up 3 layers, and I was like, you know what? I don't like that. So, I fixed it up, and I made it into a starter room. Torches are crazily placed in here, because this was in the beginning when I just like put torches everywhere. So then that leads into this room. If you have a keen eye, this is, yes, the same one that leads all the way down to the basement. So this is one continuous water source that goes all the way down. I thought that was a cool idea. And this is the roof of the basement. That's why this room was made, is because I couldn't do this room under here at the level I wanted it because this was grass. So I ended up making this room and it led more. And so then that led up to the staircase. And so this staircase comes in here. We got little stuff over here. This is mostly because rooms being in use. This leads down into our little bowl of nature. This is all the stuff that we kept, and you can even see more stuff off that way when we look. And then there's cobblestone that surrounds it. We'll get more into that later. And then so this is a glass room that leads over. You can see over to the side of the house, train station, and then this leads into more we will talk about. So this is the storage system over here. This is our cobblestone side. This is blocks, everything else. This is going to be the slab chest. And then fish, random, random. This is the special chest. This is our first diamond, and this is that egg I found an episode ago. And then this is the loot, and I guess nothing there. And then we got wood and dirt, which you believe in. Next, if you drop down a layer, you're going to come down to this room. This room is empty at the moment. Down here originally is where I was putting one of every block before I moved it over to the inspiration type room. And so this is a big wall that we have not filled in yet. There is the railroads again. You can even get a better look of it there. Right here is going, I guess I'll do it right now. This is our deck that we made, and this leads over into the pond that we hand built. This pond was something that I completely made myself, and it goes pretty deep if you jump into it. Some of the middle goes down 5-10 blocks. You can't really see until we light it up, but it's really cool. And then over there is our fishing hut where we go and get fishies out of the water. Dropping down one more layer, this is another room doesn't have a use yet. This is our grass room. This has stuff like this on it, and then if you look, this has a staircase, and following the staircase down, this actually leads right to here. So this is the area we skipped over earlier. So now, if you're down here, instead of having to walk all the way to get up to the top of the base, you can take this area. Then, another little room we got right here, this leads over this way, and there's two ways you can go. First way you can go is going to be here, and this is the bottom of the fishing hut. So this is another easy way to get over here. And then if you take the up, you can go up here, and this is where you can do a little bit of fishing. Fishing rods are down here in this chest in this little basement area that keeps them all fresh and stuff, so they can be a little colder. Wrong way there. That one's on me. And this leads back into the mine. So that's what this door was. So that's another easy way to get around here. That leads you to the mine. So as you see, interconnectivity is something that I believe in a lot and I love for base design as it can lead to much more. So the next area we're going to walk into, this is a little dangerous right now because it is dark. This is the next project. This is what we are in the middle of. This is going to be our major area where we walk and there will be rooms off the side of it. This is like a central hub area, kind of think of a mall type of thing. And this is mined all the way out to here. This is the biggest project I have undertaken, and this took me forever. It only ended up making about 5 episodes out of it. But I did a lot of it off camera, and they were a lot longer episodes, like 30 minutes long. So okay. Let's jump back into this room and let's continue on. So going back up these ladders, there is a little hole here, and this leads to a staircase. The staircase drops you down here, and you can go under the deck, and you can even walk over to the fishing shack. Over here, we got some original sugarcane, that's just where it spawned, and I just haven't mined it yet. I might just make it part of the thing. And then over there, we got a little waterfall, which probably should talk about when we were at the train station, but oh well. Walking up here, we got this. This leads over to here. This is the cove area. You can actually walk inside of it a little bit more. This is really weirdly shaped because the ceiling of the basement hits in really odd spots, so this had to be made in a weirdish way. All the trees here I planted and all the flowers I did, nothing too much is natural, but this retaining wall was made so that nothing gets in and it has an enclosed feeling on it when you look from up here, so that you can't look through the glass and see too far. Then leading, I'll show you right here. This is the stairs. I was gonna go up, and this is another way to look down at this place as we're building it. Now these stairs lead up into one of the newer areas that we just built. This is our farming place. Look over here. This is what's in the process right now. This is a pathway that I got to work on more, and then there's little stairs here for the moment, which lead back up into the storage room. But over here, this is where we keep all of our stuff, books, all that kind of good stuff. Right here, we got our wheat farm. Over here is going to be a tree area once we get more done. And then this, as our interconnectivity we told you about, this leads up into this room. So this has an easy walkway down into the farm. This is our sugar cane. And then the last thing that we have here is the cactus farm. And so this is a long one that goes all the way across there. And then if you follow cactus farm all the way to here, you will hit the side. There will be we'll put a staircase here to get down, and then over here, this leads back down to this area. This used to be an area where I used to plant all my trees at, but since we now have the farm area, which will be all around the outside, I won't have to worry about that anymore. And this is not an important one, but this is a floating tree which has been here for probably 80 episodes. So this one has not been killed yet. I'll probably do something with it, but that one's not special. That one has just been there for maybe 10 episodes. And with that, that is majority of the farm. Not the farm, the tour of the farm. I guess we call that too. So only a few little areas that I need to show off that I didn't. Now that it's day again. If we take this down here, we can go look at the waterfall. So this waterfall leads to here, and this is a custom river that I made. And this leads all the way over to here, which is, this is going to be a dam, which I started digging a tiny bit of, but we will get more of it done later, and then that's where it's going to lead over to the ocean. Then the very last thing to show off is I'll just walk down the mine stairs, and that will be it for this. So walking down these stairs, this will take you all the way down to bedrock, but there is a gap right here because we ran through a cave, and I plan on doing something with this. There's lava, there's lots of little things. You can get lost easily, probably. But I want to use this cave for something because it is just a natural cave around here. So you ignore all my dirt, but yeah, so this leads all the way down here, and down here is where we ended up finding our first diamonds too, which is the really cool thing. So everything leads all full circle, and then through here is where we do all that kind of stuff. Most of it is up in this area, and it goes on for a good amount of distance. I've done way too much mining and spent too much time. But that's it for this mine area, and that is it for the tour. I hope you guys are liking the world at the moment. Obviously, with 100 episodes, you can tell that most progress gets done, well, on camera instead of, oh, hey, here's an episode, oh, I built a house, and that's it. I kind of like the approach of working on your place and then eventually making, like, short progress episodes where it's like, okay, here, I did this off camera. Anyway, I'll show you this off, and then we're going to work on this. So I try to balance that in between a couple ways, which I'm pretty happy with and stuff. But now here's a big lookup. This is a massive area for the future to look at, and we can go look over this. I love this. I love this pond. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I'm not gonna jump because it'll probably kill me. I just walked off, and then over here we can look over the farming area, which I'm very happy with how this farming area turned out. I'm not happy with how these trees keep turning out as they keep making huge ones. I'm gonna have to fix that. And then another thing is up here. This is the roof of the original place. Up here is where I would stand and look at the world and stuff at night. It's only like 3 blocks lower than it used to be, but I used to time lapse up here and look at everything and stuff as there is just a lot going on. But I originally planned on there being some roof access, and that's why things are made nicely up here. Like, this was gonna be a staircase up to here, but with this room not having a ceiling yet, I'm still kind of waiting to see what we're gonna do. An idea in my head is I might be making this taller and making there another room above this. It's gonna be pretty cool. I mean, it would make this massive. Like, if we made another huge layer above this, that would be pretty darn cool. But obviously, nothing is set in stone yet when it comes to this, and I kind of plan things as I go. One of my big rules for this world is I was allowed 0 planning. A lot of people like either planning in other worlds or trying stuff out. I just got to do it. That's one thing that has made this take longer too, is the fact that if I want to build it, I just have to build it, and that's it. There's no planning. Obviously, the only way I get around that is not recording as I plan, which I have done a handful of times, and it has worked out, I would say, a good amount of the time, or if I'm just sitting there thinking, I can change easily and stuff like that. And it's more enjoying to show the after you got the idea down working on it than the pure process, which I do still do the brainstorming process sometimes. It really just depends. But now that that's done, I want to set some goals for the next 100 because hoping we can hit 200. What I love to do. First thing, I want to get the train station. I want to get it finished, the look done, and then I want to get the tracks. Guys, we're gonna walk back up here. I was thinking for the station that I want it to go this way, and it's gonna lead over to a massive build, which we talked about last episode. This area is realistically going to be part of the base. I don't know exactly what yet, but it's such a flat area that I can't just not use it. I could just make a big building over in that horizon, and that could be for something, which could be really cool too, which I'm not against, but I'm still not sure if you get what I mean. Like I have ideas, just that they're not beyond concrete. I just know that this land will be used for something cool. And then when it comes over to this land, there's not really much left to do with this stuff. Obviously, I want these paths to end up connecting and stuff, which is a big thing, but I'm also not the happiest with the wooden path because there's just so much wood used in this world that the shell of this house may end up just changing just because of that, which would be really interesting and odd to see, but always is a possibility. And then as we talked about earlier, tree farm being built and a second layer on this, which I accidentally just got myself on, I think would be really cool. And then you can make it pyramid up to the top, maybe make a ball at the top. I mean, there's tons of options for little things to end up doing, which is what I really do enjoy about this is the fact that there's just so much possibility for creativity and all this kind of stuff that you just never know what's possible or what you can do. And I think that's what makes me keep coming back into this world. It's the ability to work on things, the chance to do stuff, and things like that. Now that all that jazz out of the way, welcome into Minecraft Timelocke, guys. This is episode 100, and this is the final episode in beta 1.1. This is weird to say. This is it. Luckily, we don't have a lot of prep, as I already have looked at the change log for what's going to be added. I already have a pretty good idea on about every single item, so that makes this easier, as I haven't looked at everything, but I know of everything, and nothing groundbreaking is happening in this next update, which is good for us, because I mean I don't have to prepare much. I believe going into the next update, though, however, that's when we're going to have to prepare some stuff. But for this update, we should be good, not to have to worry about it. So today I'm going to burn down these freaking huge trees. They're kind of bugging me. You know what? I'm not gonna. Oh, my heart just. Oh, my heart just dropped. Oh, I need a moment there. Oh, geez. So we're gonna craft stuff up here. Oh, that is not funny. Oh my. We got 2 extra. Okay, so I can't put paper in the grid. Oh, geez. Nothing like a time lock episode if you don't get jump scared by something. It's been a while since I've had a good jump scare like that. Stuff needs fixed, and I just don't know where the spawn proofing needs fixed at. Oh, did I just flip this the wrong way? I did. Okay. Because there is a way to get up here. There's the problem. Is that block right there. That's also the only way to get up here. I'm gonna take the fence way. I thought that cow was a skeleton. You can never be ready for this stuff now. Okay, so anyway, before, getting about scared to death, So for this final episode, what I want to work on is going to be in the base, of course. And it's not going to be that outside area that we've been working on for a while, only because of the fact that, that creeper is there. That definitely doesn't help anything. I want to work on this room a little bit. I was going to smelt some bricks and stuff, but at least for the time being, I don't want to. What I want to figure out is if this room can go lower. Because I'm trying to think what we got under here. And I realistically think that it's just, it is nothing, because under this block is going to be the ceiling for the bottom. It's a little confusing to think about, but but anyway, so the reason that I have all this confusion is I want to get this a room. Problem is, we cannot go any farther this way. This has to be the wall right here, which kind of sucks, which is why there's no wood there. So that means this room is limited, and we can't even go this way because of the goal room being there. So, my idea is we're going to brick this, and then figure out what we're going to do for the ceiling. And it's going to be like a weird slanted roof type of thing for in this room. And then I think we just do that. Let's see. So we need 8, 16, 8, 12. I don't know how I jumped immediately to 16. I could do 16 and then also make it go here. But then if I did that, that means I wouldn't need this block, would I? Oh, of course that block's still needed. I actually have a little bit of brick on me. I kind of forgot about that. Okay, well, not really, because I just broke the brick that was here. Okay, so let's go and make some brick, because I haven't actually made any brick on camera yet. It's just been me, you know, that was when I was working off camera and stuff. So I guess I'll show you how we make bricks. Bricks are a bit of a more annoying item to make in this, just because clay is a pain. Luckily, since we spawned, by like that beachy sand area, that clay luckily was pretty darn simple for us. But depending on your spawn and your world, you won't be so lucky. And let's see, so it takes 4. As you see though, I'm running out of clay very quickly. I didn't expect to need, just as much as I have used on that room. I knew I was going to use a decent amount, but I was hoping not to take that much. And then 8, 16, 24. So you just put 4 in each one, and we'll let that smelt. And as that smelts, I'm going to do a little bit of home improvement. One thing I'm going to start now, since I might as well, I'm going to craft some slabs. I haven't went into why, but I've just started to make tons of slabs. I'm going to do this maybe in between episodes or every couple episodes, or if I need to waste a bit of time, just craft a few stacks of slabs and, get up there, and then eventually we'll get that chest full. And there we go. Also, the good thing that'll do is it'll actually keep our chest from fully filling now that we are actively trying to waste some of it. We'll still worry to come out here. But anyway, so my plan for out here, since we're kind of waiting, is we're gonna make this go over one more. Do we even have any wood? Nope, I'll have to make some. So this goes over one more, and then this travels inwards to the inside of this. Is what my plan was. I just don't know if we're gonna keep it or not yet, but I'll at least drop a little bit of that as we were waiting. Yeah, this kind of became, oh hey, let's stall for my stuff to cook. And we're getting some little bit of lag spikes, is what I'm realizing. I don't know what it's lagging from, but we are getting a decent amount of it. It's weird though when it lags. Might be because I have editing software open at the moment, like currently in in the project, because that's how I've just been recording this episode, is I've recorded all 3 different parts and then dropped the parts immediately um, into the software, just because it was easier to figure out the runtime and stuff. Because with this episode, I was hoping for about half an hour, but it's already noon in the day, and I kind of wanted to do some other stuff besides play Minecraft. So I don't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to do more than just play Minecraft, but nothing wrong with playing a little bit of Minecraft though. So we got 7 of these, so we are about halfway to what we needed, because just over halfway, because I think we needed 12 and we got 7. So if my math is correct, that's definitely over halfway. We need pumpkins. I've been saying this for a little bit, but man, we really do just need some pumpkins in this world, because it'd be really nice. Oh, and I got this extra sign we can go drop off. You saw why we had a sign if you watched earlier in the episode. And if you're still watching now and you didn't leave a comment, you should leave a comment about something if you want to be added into the thing. I know the amount of people watching this 35 minutes in is going to be a lot lower than people watching it 2 minutes in. Hey, for just that off chance listening to us in the background or whatever, yeah, you should definitely do that. Okay. I'm impatient. Hopefully this is enough now. See, look how much has grown already. It's been just night. Because I was going to remove these trees and stuff too, but some creeper had a different idea, so I had to go pivot. I was like, fine, I'll go work on stuff then, creeper. Take all my fun away. Oh, we are just off. Need 1 brick. I got 1 brick. Well, they're both full bricks. So, do you say brick? Do you say brick blocks and then bricks, or do I just say bricks, bricks, and just never explain what I meant by that? I think it's funnier that way, because I mean you're technically being correct because they're just called bricks. So there's technically no wrong answer on that one. Since we're gonna go to the planning room, let's take this way because it'll be quicker. It's funny because I kind of got to think sometimes about like what's the quickest route to get somewhere because of all the interconnectivity that we have in the base. It makes things harder to figure out exactly what because of that. Man, I wish I did. I wish I didn't have to have that there. Nobody doesn't know if I want to put bricks there or not. I can leave it empty for the time being, and then I guess we could just. Because is that block needed? But like, is it? But like, is it? We can get away with that, right? What if I just make it? Yeah, what if I just make it a slab anyway? So I was thinking we do all those slabs that we just crafted. We could have actually used a couple of them now. That's kind of funny. And there's some coal there. Then we got a craft table here. So hard part's always trying to guess how many slabs you'll need because I can never remember typically. Because I'm telling you, 21 is definitely not enough. But oh wait, no, because we only need the bottoms, so we should be fine. I mean, it won't kill anyone besides me if it's just one like that. And so then this room actually looks nicer. I'm not gonna do brick on the back wall because it kind of will take a almost too bricky because this whole room's meant to be brick, and then if that room's brick, it'll take off. But let's actually use this room. So we got brick and wood. Brick and wood. What could we use to toss on that wall? Clay. Be kind of funny actually, but no, that'd be a pain to mine, and I could never pick it up if I actually wanted to change it. These bookshelves, I plan on putting them somewhere because I wanted to put a fireplace. That's why this was broken right here, because I was looking for a fireplace to put there, but I wasn't happy with the design I came up with. And plus, I got to make sure there's no wood at all around it because it'll start a huge fire, and I would kind of rather just wait to do anything with that before I'm 100% confident. But realistically, the only blocks we have to choose from are going to be stone, logs. It would be weird if we just made it like if we just made it mostly logs. Oops. Maybe if we get there. I guess then it wouldn't look weird to do cobble right in the middle. Be a slightly different um vibe than normal. So you figure out. Okay, we're gonna remove all these torches. Let's try again. Torch there, torch there, and that's literally all we need. We didn't need these extra torches all over the ground and stuff. That's more than enough for what we needed this room to be. And then, depending on what we do, we'll probably eventually expand this way because we'll at least have these 3 blocks to use. We just have to figure something out there. But now that we've done that, I think that we are good. Don't know where we're going. Oh yeah, no, we were meant to go this way. Gosh. Too much stuff to remember, honestly, in this world. If I ever like go on vacation and like leave for a week or two, I'm gonna be so lost. I'm like, crap. How does all this connect? Also, man, that's gonna be really fun for creativity, especially if I cannot play for like a week, and I'm like, man, I really want to play some Minecraft now. Also, probably should have put these in the mining room, but this is just where I've been smelting all my clay, only because I typically been doing 2 stacks at a time, so it's a bit quicker. Okay, now we got 4. I guess we'll take this way on the way back. Guarantee you this was not quicker. In my head, I was thinking of jumping and getting to here, but there's zero way that I could do that. Mostly because it's only a 3 block gap, and there's a huge hole. Hey, no, it was more interesting that way though. We can't say we take that way every day. But anyway, so we have the final 4 bricks that we need, which can go there. And it'll block off one of those pieces of gravel. So that means we could move the torches up. No, let's not move the torches up. It's slightly too dark for me, at least. Do that. Plus, they're evenly right across from each other. Yeah, no, it gives an interesting vibe the way that the bricks go up like that. But I guess let's actually do what the plan for this room is. So this is going to be the new goal room. I was gonna do it in a different episode or do it off camera, but since we kind of just have it all, let's do it. So yeah, we are getting rid of this room after 74 74 episodes. We can finally say goodbye to this room. One thing I need to actually kind of do. This is just funny, honestly. I need to open this. I'm gonna be exploring files on the other side of my screen. Don't worry, I'm still here. Or just pause for a moment. I'm gonna pull up this screenshot so then I can look at it on my other monitor. Okay, there we go. Screenshot's all pulled up. So then we can cut this, and I have everything that I exactly wrote. Obviously, a couple of these are not applicable anymore, or they at least won't be applicable because stuff has, kind of just kept happening. But so what the way I want to do it is I want to do current goals on this wall. And we'll start at the top for the ones that are just never going to happen. So up here, we're going to make a place to honor fans. Now we get to see my typing again because it's been a little bit since you guys have had to deal with it. That's really high. That's um pick our first fan technically is done now because we kind of did that. Um, can I scroll back? No, I can't. So our second goal is finish the main base. Slash, and then we'll also add the underground because this is just a huge expanding thing because everything gets bigger as we keep going. We got a few more signs to look at. I want to put something. I want to put a weird goal right here. But for now, let's not. Let's do. I want to finish the train station, so we're gonna put that here. So if we finish the train station and we lay new track, and then if we go to the next area too, there we go. It's like these are really simple goals though. These ones should end up being done relatively quick. And so the last one over here, well, because we killed off the farm area one. Let's see, what do I want to do? Right here, I'm going to put. I want to finish the big mall room. I'm just gonna call it a mall room for the moment because I kind of don't have a good name for it, realistically, because it's it's just like a central walking area, and I look at it as if it's like a mall room. Thing I wasn't gonna do that I'm gonna do now is I'll place a torch here. I'm not happy with that. What if I place it here so it's out of the walkway of it, and it's not like here in a spot? And I also made a weird design on it because they go like this. And then so for the completed goals, I don't really have a spot for them. I'm probably just going to make a list of them somewhere and then just keep constantly expanding them. Because making the new goal room was a goal that we've had for a while. Find diamonds, go fishing, explore land. This we still need to do more of, especially next video and the next update we need to. But let me think of some more random goals to add before we do anything else. One thing I'm gonna do is right here. Just thought of it. I want to put a crafting table so that we can easily, make more goals, make more signs for the goals. 'Cause, man, these signs are expensive. They take 6 planks and a stick. So, next goal that I am thinking about is wait, we have a list of goals we wrote a couple episodes ago. Um, some current ones. Okay. Oh, this will be a lot easier then. I want to. Oh, oh, you can actually go back up. I didn't know you could. But so the next goal I want to do is I want to spawn proof more because we got a lot of stuff that needs spawn proofing. As you saw, that creeper tried jumping us. That also could just be because we have that huge dark area and stuff now, which I definitely think leads to part of it. Okay, so two. So I can only do two off that 16. That means we'll have 4 extra left for the next one. Will be pretty cheap. So the next goal. Oh crap! I just lost it. I just had it on me. I want to let's work on the dam. I want to do that, and um, tree farm is another one that I want to do. So now that we have that, let's do a bit more. Well, that means we can do exactly. I picked a bad spot to split those. That didn't not good plan. Okay, so um, we need to make a place for another portal because we need to go back and get some blocks. So we need to make a place for another portal. And last big thing that I really am thinking we need to do was the dam was the one I just had in my mind, but we already got that. What's similar to the train station? We'll just make it our big history idea. This is the idea we talked about last episode, and that's basically it for this wall. So the idea for the reason I thought about putting the goal room there was because this is just like the place where you sit here, we'll think about inspiration, we'll probably put a bench or something against the wall, fireplace, stuff like that. And then you can walk in here, and this is goals. This is stuff we plan on doing. This is just a pure planning place, and this is right under everything else we need. And this room will expand more. But yes, that does mean that this goal room will be getting killed. It was a goal that I've had for a tiny bit, but we'll find out more eventually. When we tear the room down officially, because I'm just sick of this gravel. That's just really what it is. This room was made to be temporary, and it's ugly for a reason. But hey, yeah. So it's all for that. And if you guys think of any goals, just comment baiting at this point. Let me know if you got any. So these are all the things that I have at the moment for the base. Obviously, there's probably a couple more I can think of, and these are only like current ones that are in the realm of like I could do next episode type of thing. It's not a well, besides finish the base, but like I can always make another room. I can always do stuff like that. Like I have stuff on here. It's like eventually fix this, or it's like once I'm able to do this. It's like I want something that like I can generally just do next episode, not something that hey this would take a month. Hey, I want you to level this mountain. No, that's kind of stupid. I don't want ones like that. If you get what I mean. So everything we have in this is here for a certain purpose. Oh, here we got another one. It is the one in that room right now, but let's explore more land. Slash find new blocks. So yeah, so then we can also this is gonna be next episode. It's gonna be this one. Then it's weird just having a blank spot in the wall for 4 different signs, which could go there. So that's really expensive. This is tearing through all my logs. But I think that's honestly a great spot to leave this room in. So eventually this will be expanded, and I do kind of like the idea of it being like this, even though that it kind of has to be. Like it gives the room a bit more character with it having to have this narrower approach to it. But yeah, that's it for that. weird killing this gold room now, but hey. Worthy sacrifice we had to make. Yeah, that's good. So, let's look out here. Say goodbye to beta 1.1. Get ready for our next adventure. We got another update ahead of us. Tons of blocks, tons of fun stuff, tons of things like that. And I will catch you guys all next time. Thank you for joining us in these hundreds, or in up to episode 100. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, and all of you guys just so much. And also, thank you for joining us on this adventure, just overall. Like it's been a lot of fun. We've done tons of stuff, and we got tons more to do. Look at all this empty land. We got things to build, things to do, places to be, ways to die. So, I'll see you guys all next time. Thank you for joining me on Timelocke. I was PB.